He's a father to the fatherless. Where they yearn for a two-parent household, he is willing and able to fulfill all the duties of a father and then some. God hears the silent cries of your children's hearts. I'm agreeing with you in prophesying that over your children and mine, that they will not experience that, because the Father of all fathers is going to fill every hole in the heart of your child. Hey Queen, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning back in into this video. Thank you for clicking it. Today, I just want to encourage my single moms out there, because trust me, I know that it's not an easy feat, okay? It's not for the faint-hearted. It's probably one of the hardest things that one can do. So I just wanted to come here with an encouragement for you, because we need to be out here encouraging each other. It ain't easy, okay? First of all, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're thriving exactly where God has you right now. And I hope you're just living your best life. If you're not, you have the opportunity to change your perspective today. I think, when you change your perspective, a lot of things around us can change. We walk by faith and not by sight. So if your life is not going as you would want it, I think it's time to kind of dig our heels deeper into our faith and fix our eyes on Jesus, and everything else will fall into perspective. The situation may not change straight away, but once your perspective shifts, your posture begins to shift. Today, I want to encourage that single mom who feels unseen. The single mom who feels like she's doing it all alone, she's unseen, she doesn't have a village around her. It's just her and her child, or her and her children, and she wonders how she's going to get through this season. If that's you, I really want to encourage you today from Genesis 16 and Genesis 21. And this is the story of Hagar, who is Ishmael's mom. This is the woman that Sarai gave to Abram to have a child by, because she got impatient. She couldn't wait for her own promise that God had promised her. She got impatient, and then she told Abraham, sleep with Hagar, maybe we'll have a child through her. Abraham did that, but then that was still not God's promise. So that was still not Isaac, the child of promise. It turned out to be Ishmael. And then there now started to be contention between Hagar and Sarai. Even after she became Sarah, and they had, in Genesis 21, after they had their own baby, Sarah tells Abraham to send her child away. So Abraham listens, because God tells him to listen. Abraham sends Ishmael and his mom Hagar away, and they are stuck wandering in the wilderness. It's just her and her baby. And the provision that they had been given by Abraham runs out. So it's just her and her child, and she's got no provision. In that moment, God sees and God hears the cry of her child. God sees her child and comes to her and says, I've seen your child, I've heard your child. Here's provision. And they were given provision. They'd run out of water, they were given provision. God provided for them their physical needs. God provided for them their physical needs. And not only that, he gives Hagar a promise concerning her child. Just like Hagar, if you're all alone and you don't have a village around you, and it's just you and your children, it's just you and your child and your baby daddy, the father of your children, the father of your child has treated you nastily, has treated you treacherously, has treated you harshly, or is just not in the picture. If you read Genesis 16, Hagar says to God, God, you have seen me. You are El Roy. You are God who sees, and you have seen me. Have I been seen by the one who sees me? That's what she says. God sees you. God sees everything that you're doing. God sees your need. And God hears the heart's cry of your child. He's a father to the fatherless. And I want to go as far as to say he's husband to the husbandless. So you may be a single mom in the sense that there's no father in the picture, or the father is not active in the picture. But guess who's the father of all fathers? Who's the father of all fathers? So your child does have a father. And I want to encourage you that the father of your child, the heavenly father of your child, sees your child and hears your child. And if we just go to him and we allow him to speak over our children, we'll hear the promises that God has for our children, and God will keep your kids. I want you to read Genesis 21 and see what God says to Hagar about Ishmael, and the promise that he gives to Hagar about her son, and how the promise actually came to pass. That's exactly what happened. They were given provision, but I want to encourage you that God sees you. He sees you and your children. You're not alone. I totally understand the struggle of single parenthood. It's not easy, girl. It's not easy. My heart goes out to you, but I want to encourage you with that. Every single moms out there, God sees you. He sees you exactly where you are. If you're in need of anything at all, whether you're in need of stuff materially and you need for him to provide for you, he sees that, and he is willing and able to provide for you and your children or in your child. Just go to him and recognize that he sees you exactly where you are. When you're crying by yourself at night, or when you're exhausted because you've got nobody to pass the kids on to so you can have a rest, he sees you. Your Father in heaven sees you. And I want to encourage you that your children have a Father, and he is willing and able to fulfill all the duties of a father and then some, because he's the Father of fathers. So I want to encourage you with that. That's all I've got to say to you today. And I hope that encourages you, because when I thought about this, it just came to my mind the story of Hagar. And it really encouraged me that, God, you see me. You see everything that I'm doing. You see everything that I'm doing to raise these children. You see when I'm exhausted. You see when I'm in need. You see when I need a break and I can't get a break. You see all of that, and you see me, and you give me the strength, you give me the grace, you provide for me and my children, you cover us, you come into this house, and you are husband to me, and you're father to me and to my children. You fulfill the duties of a father, you fulfill the duties of a husband, to provide, to protect. You give me intimacy, you give my children intimacy. They know you closely as their father. So I wanted to encourage you with that, because it strengthened me in the Lord, and it really encouraged me. And I just know single moms out there need to hear this. So I hope that you've been encouraged. If you're not a single mom and you know a single mom, please send this to them. Even a single dad, it's the same thing. Single dads also need to get some love, okay? Single dads that are doing it out there by themselves. God sees you, and God sees your children, just like how God heard Hagar's son, the cry of Hagar's son. God hears the cries of your children. They're, they're silent cries where they yearn for a two-parent household, where they yearn for a father's love. God hears the silent cries of your children's hearts. God hears the silent cries of your sons and your daughters, where they're like, okay, I wish I had a mom in this house. It's just dad, that is great, but I wish I had a mom. God hears that, and he sees you, and he is able to fill any mom shaped hole in your child's life, any dad shaped hole in your child's life. God is able to fill that, so that your children will not grow up to be a statistic. Your children will not grow up to experience a father wound or a mother wound from the absence of a mom or a dad in the house. They will not experience that. I'm agreeing with you in prophesying that over your children and mine, that they will not experience that, because the Father of all fathers is going to fill every hole in the heart of your child and in yours as well. So I'm going to leave you with that today, guys. That's all I have for you today. I hope you've been encouraged, and pass this on. Pass this on. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can get more encouragement, and so that we can, journey along together. And make sure that you click that notification bell so that you're notified every time I post a video. And don't forget to comment. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Let me hear some encouragement. If you're a single mom, encourage another single mom. Single dad, encourage another single dad. Let's be in the comments just talking to each other and encouraging each other, because if we do not do that, it can get lonely out there. We need each other, guys. So flood the comments with some support, with some love, with some encouragement. Until next video, guys. Bye.